Well, we're back on Bring It Home, where we take the concepts of homeland security and national security and bring them home to you. We're going to be talking now with Dr. Kemble Bennett, who is a Vice Chancellor at Texas A&M University and the Dean of the College of Engineering. So, Kim, thanks very much for being with us.
My pleasure.
We're going to talk about homeland security issues, specifically emergency response. But I want to begin by setting the scene with the Department of Engineering as a whole. How about tell us a little bit about this behemoth that you head?
Well, the Dwight Look College of Engineering is a behemoth, I think. It's a good description. It's the size of many universities. We have a little over 10,000 students studying in the college with roughly 15 different academic disciplines housed in 10 different departments. So it is a very large college. Can't think of an engineering discipline that's not represented within the college.
Well, I know very highly rated nationally, and you have a tremendous footprint overseas, don't you?
Yes, it is highly rated. We're definitely amongst the top 10 engineering institutions in the U.S. And we do indeed have a campus in Qatar, so the state of Qatar in the Middle East, where we do have 4 of our engineering programs going there.
You have a lot of things working besides Homeland Security, but Homeland Security is a major effort within your university. I've worked with your people in industrial systems on border issues. I'm working with them on chemical issues. Would you explain how kind of that touches all phases or all aspects of the college?
Well, I think a lot. Homeland Security is a fertile ground to do engineering work in. If we're talking border security, there's security systems, surveillance systems. If you're talking in the areas of biochemicals, we have our chemical engineering department doing biochemistry. If you're talking structural materials, blast-resistant techniques,
petroleum engineering.
Petroleum engineering, we have chemical engineering, petroleum, mechanical, all the engineerings find fertile research areas in some parts of Homeland Security.
Well, I think that's a very important point too, that we think of engineering at schools as teaching engineering, but you have such a broad research base, don't you?
Well, that's exactly right. We're a very large research school. Our College of Engineering is number 1 or number 2 in total research funding, and about 70% of that funding comes from the U.S. government.
We're going to move on in just a minute to emergency response and homeland security issues, but I do want to pause just for a moment and make sure that you explain to us TEES, which is one of the sub-components of the Department of Engineering, TEES.
Right. Well, as a land-grant university that was established, Texas A&M in Texas, it has missions to do research and also outreach of service to transfer that research to the common good, to the people of the state of Texas and around. So we have 2 entities to do that. Our first entity to do that for research is TEES, Texas Engineering Experiment Station. And the faculty do their research through TEES. TEES has affiliations with other universities throughout the state of Texas where we have offices and involvement, and we can put together wide-ranging teams of expertise to research problems of interest.
If people want to look that up on the internet, it's TEES.
That's correct, TEES.
TEES also has a big footprint for the state of Texas, doesn't it, for people that need engineering assistance? 254 counties.
That's right. We have people who are involved in research through most every county in this state.
Now, the other component that I want to stress is TEEX,
right.
T-E-E-X. Yeah. How do you explain to us what is TEEX?
Well, as I was mentioning before about the land grant mission, one is research and then the other is carrying that applied technology out for use. And that's where TEEX comes into the picture. TEEX is primarily an institution, or it's a state agency actually, goes out and does training and technology transfer. So they're the training technology transfer arm. The college is the educational arm, and TEES is where we do the research that we can then transfer.
Yet so many things going on, it really takes an organization like that to sort of keep track of it and be able to be responsive nationwide.
That's correct, and it keeps the missions very, very clear so that you can take the different people that are involved in the different organizations and focus them on their particular mission. One on education and research, one on outreach, and one on research.
Now, we'll talk about the outreach training in just a minute, but let me focus first on the training here. Now, there's a large fire field here at Texas A&M. It's been about 75 years that it's been in existence here, and trains a variety of people to include commercial firefighters for down along the Gulf Coast, petrochemical plants, and international people. Now, you personally were involved, Kim, in creating the idea for a outreach program out of TEEX. This was then following the Murr office building for the federal office building in Oklahoma City in the mid-1990s, and you came up with a new idea for training in TEEX. How about explain to us, what was that?
Well, after the Oklahoma City bombing, it became clear that we were entering into a new age, an age of terrorism. I think there were plenty of signs before that, but for me, on our own soil and close, I said, oh, terrorism became very real. Also, it looked to me like the role of the emergency responder was really changing. It used to be from fighting fires, now most of the calls are medical, and now it looked like we were into something new in the rescue area, what I'd call heavy rescue. And we needed a training facility, and the state needed what we refer to as an urban search and rescue team, one of our federal teams we needed to have in the state. So we began forming our own team, and we built what is today Disaster City to not only train our team, but to train firefighters from around the country to come in to have a world-class facility.
Now, you've trained a state response state response organization, which is very large now, almost 300 people. And you have this training facility here that people can come to. And we're going to, on some of our other programs, we're going to take a windshield tour of that facility. What kinds of things can they receive? What kinds of training can they receive here?
Well, the most important thing about training, I think, law enforcement and firefighters and many disciplines, even engineers in that respect, is you need to put them in the scenarios that they're going to operate in. You can't just talk about them and then go do them. You've got to put them in it. And what Disaster City did, because there wasn't a facility like this in the country at the time available for use for simulating disaster response. And what we needed was a facility where we could do command and control and search and rescue operations and actually simulate the type of environments that these rescuers would be working in.
So learning to use a welder or cut concrete in a parking lot is one thing. Doing it with all the gear in smoke, in heat, in a confined space, that's a different deal.
You said it exactly. You were talking, I'm thinking, yes, once you get in a pipe or enclosed space and you have to work with the equipment in there, then not all equipment works the same. And so the facility has also become a facility where we can test new types of equipment and actually do some research on that to improve how we do business.
So you've brought thousands of people through this facility to train here, and you do flyaway teams that train thousands across the United States as well.
That's correct. We have people on the road, seems like every week, providing training and teams coming in here, not only from the U.S., from all over the world. We have people coming in. We train the London, excuse me, London Fire Brigade is people come in and train here. People from all over the world have actually come in for training.
Kim, we have only about 30 seconds left. Where do you think we go from here? We're training 70, 80,000 people a year, but we can't begin to meet the need. What happens next?
Well, this is the old concept of train the trainer. We're hoping what people come in here and learn, they'll take back and continue that training. That's number one. Number two is we want to move beyond the training aspects, and that's where we're doing now. We're marrying it more with the researchers that we have in the College of Engineering and TEES and starting to look at how we can do things better through technology.
We've been talking with Dr. Kemble Bennett, who is Vice Chancellor for Texas A&M and the Dean of the College of Engineering. Hope you enjoyed this and you'll join us for more on Bring It Home.